Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest known show in the fucking universe. We're not even stressing about our universe. We're not stressing about our world because the universe is so much vast and more important in the grand scheme of things. This is the motherfucking Heel Hook Show. I'm your boy Ash. You can't see my co-host Eddie because, again, he's got ringworm on his face.
Bro, I try, man. I try not to look, dude. Fucking A. But people, hygiene on the mats, motherfuckers. Hygiene on the mats. Okay. By the way, we need to try and get Neil deGrasse Tyson on this shit. Talk about all universes. That would be insane.
I thought you were going to talk about like dirty ringworm and stuff like that. I was like, I don't think that's especially, bro.
It's not. It's definitely not. He probably knows more about it than we do, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was going to say that's one of those things where I kind of look at it and go, he's probably the one, not me. So I don't know. But hey, how you been this weekend anyway? Because I know that you didn't watch the card live, so you had to catch up on the late. So how?
Yeah, I tried to catch up, and work was too crazy. So I did get to see the finishes and shit. For Maia, the Maia finish, the Machida finish, and I didn't understand what people were talking about when they said that Maia outstruck Covington in the first round, and I think he did in the first round.
Yeah, I think what you've got to. I think what people were mainly going at is the fact that, right? For example, and I know we're doing this from the outset. So when Floyd fought against Conor, everybody was talking about how many times Conor hit Floyd.
Right.
And Colby kept on talking about after the fight how he landed more shots and did more shots than Tyron Woodley did on Demian Maia. So. Right. His thing was like big on numbers, big on numbers, big on numbers. And at the end of the day, the vast difference is at the end of the day, Demian Maia was tagging him back.
Right. And I think what Covington's doing, he's pulling a page out of the old Chael Sonnen handbook of how to make yourself rich by talking all this shit. Here's the problem. He's bringing this shit in way too late. This shit would have worked a while ago during the Chael Sonnen time, right? All this like, oh, Brazil. First of all, he pissed off the entire country of Brazil, and so much he's pissed off his own teammates at ATT. Like he pissed off his. Yeah, did they kick him out?
Yeah, the co-founder of it said that he's out of it.
Oh, I thought no. I know the co-founder left. I don't know if Covington's out.
I think he is. I'm gonna check that while you go on.
But so here's the thing. So he pissed off an entire country. That is a Chael Sonnen move, ladies and gentlemen. All right. If you're brand new to this sport or newer, if basically you started watching because Conor was huge and you think you're like 0.5, maybe again, fucking Irish, then you don't know what Chael Sonnen said back in the day. He talked about the Nogueira brothers saying they tried to feed a freaking bus a carrot. They thought it was a horse. They tried to fucking rein him in and take him home. Like, Chael Sonnen was great at this shit, right? So now Covington comes in calling everyone in Brazil a bunch of filthy animals, and then his apology was just so funny.
In fairness, his apology was spot on because at the end of the day, he was completely right in what he was saying. But what I think you've got to take into context is they're saying that in the principles of what's going on in the cage, what's happening in the octagon, like they're saying like you're gonna die in there. They're not saying we're going to hunt you down and murder you because, let's be honest, how many people have fought in Brazil, beat Brazilians, and then gone missing? Nil point. So I think the thing is, at the end of the day, yeah, what he said was really fucking funny. But at the end of the day, it was a stretch. He was trying to justify what he said, which was wrong.
Right. He started this whole thing. He fucked up from the get-go, right? He was just trying to, get under Maia's skin or whatever the fuck. He really was taking a page out of the Chael Sonnen handbook, but again, it's just, if you're going to take, first of all, people stopped taking anything Chael Sonnen said, seriously, right? After like no time. It took no time. People stopped. It took literally like 3 quotes for me to go, okay, he's a fucking clown and he's doing a fucking pro wrestling promo. Good to go. Whatever, right? Covington's doing the same shit now. Like, I don't buy that he really believes that. Maybe he does now because, did you see how fast he got him out of that place? They fucking
shout out to the UFC security motherfuckers. Like, shout out, they're the MVPs this weekend.
Dude, they got him out like they was like that's fucking like that was like the president. Yeah, they got him out like that was Trump, and there was like a Russia indictment coming out of his ass. They were like, "Oh, get him the fuck out of here, quick! Get him out! They fucking had, they pushed him out the door.
I'll always find it funny saying the word Trump. I don't know. I will always, as being British as can be, hearing the word Trump will always make me giggle inside.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a joke everywhere, not just there. but
I agree with you. Like at the end of the day, he is ripping off like the handbook. But the only problem with it is he could invoke a nation, but also bring his with him when he was representing, being the American gangster and all that kind of stuff. But the problem is Colby isn't even liked by Americans that much. So it's kind of a hard sell because it's like when he comes back and if he does fight Woodley, like Woodley's American. And let's be honest, not many people like Woodley in America. So it's kind of like both people are just going to kind of go, we just want both of you to lose if we're quite honest. Like double TKO will be happy. Like I think that's one of those fights that nobody will give a shit about. The only thing that I do find interesting, but again, we've heard this all before, is apparently Colby has turned around and said that he's going to start leaking, unquote, I'm going to start leaking stuff about Tyron Woodley. So.
So what is he like? Is he gonna hold his shit in for like a week and then just have it leak out his ass or something? Doesn't give a fuck about leaking shit. Oh, I'm gonna leak shit. So what? Go leak it, motherfucker. If I'm Tyron Woodley, I go leak it, bitch.
Yeah.
Unless it's something. Look, the only reason I don't do that if I'm Tyron Woodley is if he actually has some shit.
Yeah, but the thing is though, is for Tyron Woodley, all that means then is when he gets to fight him, smash him, and then you made more money because more people are going to tune in to see you lose.
Right, maybe what I don't know, maybe you ever think that maybe these guys call each other and they go, hey man, look, let's do this. Let's just start talking shit about me. Because I believe 100% it's true that it happens. They call each other, look, man, look, I don't like you, don't like me, but let's make some money. Let's fucking, if we're gonna fight anyway, let's get some good money doing it. Hype the shit out of this, talk as much shit as you can about me, and let's get this thing going.
If you don't think that Conor McGregor and Floyd didn't do that, then
they 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. They 100% did that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that was one of those ones where it wasn't raw enough. And I think the thing is this with this whole Colby thing is people were turning around, and I understand where people are coming from with this. So hear me out, because I'm going to put on my hypocrite hat right now. So I get it, right? Demian Maia didn't look himself. Well, even from the moment the fight started, it just seemed like there was just a little bit of fatigue. He didn't look like he was. It looked like he was striking very well, but when it came to the actual wrestling, I'm not taking away from Colby's wrestling because he's a good wrestler, wrestler, not a great wrestler. I'm just throwing that out there. Because everybody's going, yeah, but he's stuffed Demian Maia's takedowns. Yeah, but Demian Maia is getting older and is also 40 years old, and Colby's 29. So let's just put these little things into perspective right now. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm just saying that at the end of the day, yes, he beat Demian Maia. But he didn't finish Demian Maia. He just beat Demian Maia. Do you know what I mean? He beat a 40-year-old. And again, in the first round, he was getting tagged by a 40-year-old jiu-jitsu player. Let's just throw that out there. You know what I mean? We know that Demian Maia doesn't really have hands.
Right.
That's facts. To me, him beating Demian Maia, who was third, in context, yes, it gives him a bump. It does. It gives him a big bump.
Mm-hmm.
But that same context, and I'm going to throw it out there because it's my countryman, but by that context, Darren Till's in a shout for a fucking title shot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody in that top four is already lined up. So, people are going, right, well, they beat the third guy, so we should get a title shot. Where was fucking Colby before that? Like 9th, 10th?
Yeah, and here's the thing. Again, it's such a what have you done for me lately sport, right? Like, no matter what, it doesn't matter that Demian Maia has beat a lot of really good high level guys. If Colby Covington beats him and makes a huge splash, like for example, pissing off an entire country, and then getting rushed out of the fucking arena like they were coming after him with knives and guns, which by the way they might have been. Who knows? They were throwing shit at him for sure, but. If that Covington doing all that shit gets him title shit, gets him hyped enough to get people to pay to watch him, he's gonna get bumped in there, right? But man, I prefer Darren Till. Look, I want Darren Till to get the shot way before a Covington does.
I don't think we're going to get either of those two gentlemen getting a title shot.
Not next.
No, it's going to be Masvidal, Wonderboy. Like, whoever wins that fight.
Oh, God, please not Wonder Boy. Oh, my God.
I know what you're saying, but the thing is, though, is we say that, but the second fight was trash. The first one you've got to take into account as fire. So,
right.
You know, I appreciate what everybody's saying, like, oh, no, it's one of the worst fights ever and boring fights, and I'm with you. Dude, I'm with you. I was so hyped up for that fight, and then it gets to 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, and I am nodding. My head's just dipping like a motherfucker. But I don't know, man. I don't. That's something we're going to get into, who we think is going to win that fight at a later point. But the thing is, though, is I am with you. You know, I don't want to see, in a sense, Wonderboy. It'll be interesting to see Masvidal.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, but, you know,
yeah,
it's all dependent. But I think that Woodley's going to have some time off, and I think that he's probably going to fight in, you know, like the January-esque time, you know, maybe back end of January, which means you could pretty much see him fight the winner of this fight, all being well, you know, nobody gets hurt. Badly.
Yeah, and I'm with you on everything but the January-February timeline. The fact, I mean, his shoulder injury or whatever, he's just coming back from it. And you know, let's put it for early November. Tomorrow's the 31st for the US, right? So tomorrow, I think tomorrow's November 1st in a couple days. So I always forget we're only 8 hours apart, not a whole fucking day.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I don't think we see Woodley until, you know, March at best. But I'll tell you what, and you tell me if you agree. I think if he fights Jorge Masvidal, Masvidal's gonna make him fight. I don't think that Wonder Boy's gonna make him fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we see much of a different fight than the second fight.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, maybe Woodley will be a bit more confident coming forward.
And let's not get it twisted. Woodley's not fighting to win anymore. He's fighting to not lose. Can we agree on that?
So far, I don't know, because again, you never know with fighters, man. You just never know. There's so many people you can turn around and go, "Oh, this is gonna happen. That's gonna happen."
Well, look, did you not know that with GSP? I knew that with GSP. Every fight after the Matt Serra, where he reclaimed his title, pretty much every fight after that, with maybe the exception of one, I can't remember which one I'm thinking about. But other than that, GSP fought to not lose, in my opinion.
I agree with you. I'm not disputing that. Like, at the end of the day, in my opinion, he's, you know, a lay and pray guy after that.
Right.
But you just never know. Like, I don't know how to put it. Like, you know, at the end of the day, you can kind of hold against certain people. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's all dependent at the end of the day. Like, so say, for example, say, I don't know, saying Cain Velasquez comes back and he fights against Stipe. Is he literally going to try and strike with him, or is he going to try and wrestle with him? You know, is Brock Lesnar, when he came back from Mark Hunt, was he going to strike with Mark Hunt? No, because you play to your strengths, I think, at the end of the day. But I don't know. I just find it weird to think that that's it for Woodley. I don't feel that Woodley's one of these guys who goes in there and thinks, I'm going to pick and choose. If he knows, because at the end of the day, you've got to remember he starts with Robbie Lawler. Like, he went in with the Thunder and cracked him. Like, he wasn't scared to go in there with Robbie Lawler because he knew he had the better striking. So I think there's certain holes in people's games, and he goes, right, well, I know I can do this, and then I can do that, and they can't do this, and I can do that.
Well, it's I think it's very, it's my opinion. You tell me what you think. I think it's very difficult as a challenger to win the title by decision. I think 9 times out of 10, that decision is going to that champion, especially if it's close, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If it's close, that thing's going to champion. Like, this is just very hard to do it. You have to finish the champion. I think that's what the mindset Woodley went in there with Robbie. And I can see that fucking punch in my mind right now. The way Robbie fucked up. That was a mistake by Robbie to leave himself like that wide open for the, what was that, overhand right that landed? And it just literally sat Robbie on his ass. I mean, he said it. I've never seen Robbie Lawler get popped so hard. He sat on his ass on the ground and had to be saved by the ref. You know what I mean?
The thing is I think Woodley's a dangerous cat. I really do. I think, you know, all things aside, he's an athlete and he's a fighter. That's that.
Sure.
Those facts. And I just think that he's going to be one of those guys that he adapts to the situation. At the end of the day, is he going to risk getting choked out by Demian Maia? No. Is he going to go and stand within range, or is he going to keep on moving away from Wonderboy? Yes. Like, I think sometimes, as much as we hate it, these guys are trying to earn a check, man. And it's like, I feel the only problem with it is like you say, I think sometimes it's harder to win the title from someone by decision than anything else.
Right. No, I don't know. I just think, me personally, I just think that we're looking at a Woodley that doesn't want to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like when we looked at Shevchenko Nunes. That fight for me, that was a fight where both were tentative, but then you look at that last round, which was a deciding round, if we're being completely honest. Judges aside, because one of those judges had it backwards, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
He gave like certain rounds where I was just like, I don't even know what you saw in that round, sir. But in that last round, you had Nunes laying on top of Shevchenko, but Shevchenko was hitting, dozens of elbows from the bottom, punches and stuff from the bottom, and you literally like, well, that's got to mean more than just
exactly
off of somebody, because by that same principle, leaning up against somebody against the cage means more than them, ripping to your body whilst you've got them in a tie clinch and you're not throwing a knee or an elbow.
Right. No, I agree with you. Yeah, and again, I know Woodley's going to use the best tools that he has, and if that means take somebody down, and try to drop, ground and pound on them, or keep taking them down over and over again, or if it means getting away from their striking. I mean, I get it. It's just, don't complain that money fights aren't coming your way, that you're not getting paid a lot because people aren't watching.
Don't you think it's strange that we're in this world now where, like, if you'd have said this 10 years ago,
they would have called us assholes and crazy people. That's what we would have called us.
But yeah, they'd have called us Neanderthals, and we just want to do you know what I mean? Whereas, like, we would have been talking about certain guys as, because I'll say this, and I mean this wholeheartedly, if Demetrius Johnson would have been around 15 years ago,
oh, dude,
greatest of all time, by a mile.
Easily. No, there would be nobody to say any different.
I don't even think GSP would have got sniff. I think GSP would have been considered boring then, and you'd have looked at DJ as being, that's what MMA is.
How crazy is that, right? It just by luck of the draw, man. You come in a little later than or a little too late or a little too early, and you just missed out. Mostly too late. But you know what's funny is that little, like, the more I think about it, that especially because it's WME, I am WME the ones that are getting the money here, right?
Oh, for sure.
The more that I think about those guys doing that shit, the less I give a shit how much it sells. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, the only reason I care about numbers when it comes to pay-per-views and shit like that is hoping that the fighter got paid their worth their while or their worth. You know what I mean? That's all I do, because I think these guys aren't just these guys and gals aren't just fighters, they're human beings. You know what I mean? I like we talk about time. DJ should use Twitch more. DJ plays fucking video games. You and I play video games a ridiculous amount, like too much probably, right?
100%.
DJ's just like us. You know what I mean? Fucking in that aspect whatsoever. That's about it. I tried to do the suplex to armbar. It didn't work out well. I landed. Yeah, I tried it in practice over and over again. I never got it.
Really?
I never got it. We were idiots. I got thrown on my back too. It kind of sucked. But regardless, we're clowns. We just fucking around trying it.
No, that's not something to try at nationals. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not going to. No, internet. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Although, if I'm up by like 15 points or some shit like that, I might go for it. In like the last like 30 seconds of the fight, I might go for it. Anyway, but Knox, I don't know.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's I don't know. It's kind of crazy to think about the fact that these guys are human beings and stuff. Like, when you think about it, for example, when you think about like NBA players, a lot of those guys. Let's think of it this way: how crazy is it that we dehumanize people in many different ways? Okay, many different ways. But money has become a way to dehumanize somebody. Isn't that crazy? I don't want to get into politics and whatsoever. I think it's crazy that we don't think like of NBA players as like people because they're so rich.
I think the problem is when, and this is why I always look at it from this perspective. So let me know what you think about this.
Yeah.
I personally think that's because, when 9 times out of 10, obviously you in the States is a tiny bit different. but 9 times out of 10, you are never going to meet or be in the very close proximity of movie stars, you know, singers, all that kind of stuff. Anybody famous, like ridiculously famous, or even remotely famous in context. But you're never going to be around them. So when you see them on TV, it's no different than, you know, when you're playing a video game. Like, they're on your screen, but they're not real, because you're not going to walk outside and you're going to see somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
There's a distance of, like, it's kind of make believe. They're not real. They're on the TV. They're not.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
That's how I think. That's how we separate it subconsciously. We go, these people, you know, movies or whatever, TV shows, they're not real people, and that's why we differentiate with them.
Okay, well, that makes sense. That being said, if I ever meet Hicks and Gracie, I'm gonna mark out.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Like, how crazy is it that when you meet somebody, yeah, like, how crazy is it that you lose your mind? Like, you're not person. This person eats, shits, and sleeps just like you.
Right? Isn't that crazy? Like, fuck, dude. Like, getting to shoot the shit with so many, like, and like talk to different people, you know, just different fighters and different, you know, especially in jiu-jitsu, right? Like, you know so much about these people, like stuff that, you know, like, I know I've read up so much on Hicks and Gracie's, like, you know, like past in history. If I ever have like the honor to speak to him, I guarantee that I know so much about him. It's just shit that he already forgot. You know what I mean? Like, remember when you did this? Oh, did I do that? Oh yeah, I did do that. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. And it's like, it's gotta be like a kind of weird. I mean, I'm sure they're used to it, like most, you know, movie stars and fucking, you know, athletes and, you know, Hicks and Gracie himself. They're probably used to that kind of shit, right? But imagine if it was like you're famous, you just newly famous. It's your first time meeting a fan. They're marking out in front of you, going, "Oh, remember we did this? Remember we did that?" And would you be a little creeped out by that?
Oh, for sure. Like, I think it's one of the, look, dude. Like, by no means is this show big time or anything like that. Right. But I still think it's crazy when random people follow me on Twitter that I've never had any contact with whatsoever. Yeah. If I get like a message saying, "Oh, really enjoyed your show," anything a little stupid like that, I'm like, you know. Or if I remember when Jason Knight followed me, I'd never tweeted him. You know, I followed him, but I'd never tweeted him, nothing. And I remember when he followed me and he messaged me, and I was just like,
yeah,
that's the weirdest thing in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, to have conversations with people who have so many different things going on in their lives to even notice you. Do you know what I mean? I think that's one of the main reasons that I'm doing this. You know,
right?
That's why I think it is weird. You know what I mean? I think that the only way to handle that is to be appreciative that you have a connection with people. Do you know what I mean? I think that's
right.
The important thing. Like, you're all in love with a principle of something. It's not about you per se. It's about what you're all in love with. So that's why whenever anybody, you know, gives a like on this or, you know, talks to us on Twitter or anything like that, I'm appreciative because we're all part of like a little clique, like a little family, like a little community. And I think that's
right.
It's different from when, like, I see certain, you know, quote unquote MMA journalists, podcasters, whatever you fucking want to call them. When I see them, and I'm like, you don't love the sport. You're like, you're purely about the money. Like, you're really purely about the money. Whereas, like, I do this out of love. Like, I do martial arts as a whole.
My thing is, I don't like people big timing other people. That bothers me. You know what I mean? That really bothers me. So, like, I don't know. The weird thing is there's like a group of us, and I mean human beings, that go on that they're not afraid of putting their faces out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they're putting their voices out there, their thoughts. It's just, look, how fucking, think about it this way, okay? Let's say, like, when you were a teenager, let's say you had like a TV time machine or computer or laptop time machine of some sort, and, you know, teenage you is watching us right now. All right. They're probably thinking, like, these fucking nutcases are on online, you know, they're online on YouTube, a fucking video that anyone on the planet can see, and they're saying what's on their mind. You know what I mean? 90% of fucking population is probably scared shitless to do that. These days, you can't give your opinion because people freak the fuck out, right? Meanwhile, me and you do, you know, just heel hook alone's like 2-3 shows a week. You know, Crossbones, like, you know, can go from, you know, 1 to 4 shows a week, depending on you know, the fight card and all that shit. You know, with pre-fight shows and post-fight shows and keyboard warriors and whatever else we think of doing. we're constantly online with our fucking faces, putting our everything into this shit, putting our thoughts and opinions out for the world to judge. You know what I mean? A lot of people are terrified of that. And there's like a small community of us that can do it. So, or that are willing to do it. Like I've tried to bring people on my podcast and they refuse to do it.
I know a few people who I really do respect in like this quote unquote MMA community that have vast amount of knowledge,
and they refuse,
and they know stuff that they're like the geeks of MMA. Like they're into this, and they know all kinds of little minute things. Try getting one of those motherfuckers to show the fucking, even to hear that you don't even need to put the mic on, like, you know, with you and your ringworm face right now, like they don't even need to have like they don't even need to have, they don't even need to have a camera. Like they won't even do it, just show their voices out there. One weird thing is I don't ever, and this is God's honest, I don't ever watch any of our episodes back. Ever.
I don't either. You know what I do? Because I make those shorts for Keyboard Warriors. I literally like skip. I keep skipping over and over till I hit till I and believe me, I write down during the show. All right, this point ended at this point at this timestamp, and this is what we're gonna edit this shit for the. I mean, it goes a lot of work goes into this shit, and those videos don't get very many views, and I don't care. It's just there for convenience of people that do care to come watch it. If they don't want to watch the whole thing, they go by sections, right? But yeah, but. Yeah, you understand how that works, and we were doing that.
Yeah, but that's just not, like I say, man, going back, like, regardless of, and this is why I think that a lot of people don't understand that there is no egos in doing this stuff, because trust me, not one of us wants to go back and listen to our own voices. That's just
dude. Yeah, I can't stand the sound of my own voice. I'm not even gonna lie. I just can't do it. I cannot. When I was in the radio, when I was doing, like radio, in the city, fucking man, I was just like not about hearing myself at all. And like my mom would text me like, I can hear in the radio. I'm like, good, don't send me like recordings or anything crazy. I don't want to know. But here's the thing about, I've met so many cool motherfuckers down here. Like you, Fred Kirby is like Fred Kirby and Jesse, and you are like brothers to me, man. You guys are the shit. I know shit about you guys. You guys know shit about me that I wouldn't tell some of my acquaintances. Yeah, I wouldn't tell some of my acquaintances, fucking around here. You know what I mean? And that's such a cool fucking thing to see. And like I met, and a shout out to my boy Nick and his wife April. I met them on Twitter. I think Nick ran into my podcast at some point. I think on Twitter. He followed me. I followed him back. Dude, not too long ago, we met up at a Cardinals game. A fucking American football game. It's Cardinals Raiders in preseason. And then I met up. I went to his house to watch McGregor Mayweather. You know what I mean? This is a cool dude that I met on fucking Twitter. Isn't that fucking crazy that you could do that shit? And so, I always tell people, anyone ever says, oh, I'm thinking about starting a podcast, my answer is always do it.
Yeah. I think I don't want to talk to it. That's the weirdest thing in the world. I think like we're so lucky that we're in the position that we're in as far as people being able to have an outlet now. Do you know what I mean? Like anybody's opinion can, whether it's good or bad, you know what I mean? Everybody can have their opinion, then people can kind of, like, look, there's certain things that I think you get educated on. But one thing I do want to ask you, is this it for Demian Maia?
Oh yeah, we gotta get back to him, man. That's a good point. No. I was thinking to
myself, like, when we were on about it before, I was thinking, fuck, like, is that it for Demian Maia? Because
I never catch myself when I go full JRE. You need to start giving me signals and some shit. Demian Maia, hell no, it's not over for Demian Maia. No, man, that boy's got one more year. That dude's got at least one more. Okay, maybe not year. I give him 2 more fights.
Bro, you're brave.
I really do. Here's the thing, but they can't be top 10, like top 5 guys. You can't give them top 5 guys now. It's just not possible. Not to mention that's kind of a waste of a fight, because not waste of a fight for him. There's nothing other than, unless they up his pay. Fighting a top 5 guy right now is probably not going to help him very much, because he's not going to get Demian Maia is never getting another title shot. Okay, a lot of things have to go wrong. Excuse me, my opinion, for Demian Maia to get another title shot. I think he's got at most 1 fight with a top 10 guy, and I would love for his retirement fight to be against somebody he could beat. I'm a big fan of letting these guys go out on top if possible. Maybe not title top, but at least a W, man. W in Brazil somewhere.
We're talking from 5 down, right? For Demian Maia.
Right.
Include 5 just because. You're talking RDA, Carlos Condit again, Colby's in at 7 now, by the way. Oh no, Colby was 7, so
Yeah.
Colby could move into the top 5 with this one.
He should be.
Oh no, don't say that, because then that means RDA is going to go in like 4th. Ugh.
Already,
Ugh.
yeah.
Ugh.
No, oh, by the way, yeah, I don't know. Fuck. All right, never mind. Outside the top 10, give Maia those fights. I don't want to see him get wrecked by RDA. If Colby Covington fucked him up.
What about him against Cerrone? That'd be an interesting fight. Both coming off losses, both like in that kind of top 5 area.
Who could implement their game plan? Who will we see Maia be a backpack, or will we see Cowboy Cerrone kick the shit out of Maia? That's a good. That'd be fun. Plus, Cowboy can fucking go to the ground. I mean, people don't fucking think about that shit. That being said, I want Cowboy to take a nice little break. But
I'm with you. But I want Demian Maia to take a nice little break too.
Yeah, I don't think he's done yet, man. I think he's got okay, I'll give him one more, dude. I think he's got at least one more high level, or at least decently high level. But
EBI. God
damn. You think it's over? You think it's over?
I think it's over because I think that there's a speed limit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, every couple of years, every year, there's like a car that can go faster point, X amount of seconds.
Right.
And I think Demian Maia is at that point now where there's too many cars on the fucking track that he can't keep up with. And I love Demian Maia, massive fan of Demian Maia. I love his origin and trueness to his style. I just think now that there's just too much. Like, I think that I'm being completely honest here, right? Ponzinibbio, he could maybe beat.
Ponzinibbio against Maia?
Yeah, I'm just going through people who we could beat who are in the top 10 upwards.
Okay.
So if we're going to be awkward, right? Okay, so we can beat Neil Magny. We agree on that.
Oh yes, easily. Not easily, but he beat him.
So Ponzinibbio is one of those that's a 50-50. You know what I mean? Either or.
Okay.
Cowboy Cerrone has just as good as a chance as Cowboy.
Sure. Don't
like his chances against Darren Till.
No, I don't.
Because I think he gets lit up like a Christmas tree because Darren Till isn't scared to go in.
No, that dude's balls in. He's just like, I'm going to fuck everybody up.
I will get on to him in a minute because he was fucking hilarious him on the MMA Hour. Colby Covington obviously just lost to Carlos Condit. He could beat again, potentially did it in such a dramatic fashion. There's no reason why not, per se. Carlos has been away for a long period of time also. RDA, in a way, I don't like that fight because I think that there's a lot more power in RDA, but then I also see Demian Maia being able to take him down because he's smaller.
Yeah. I don't know. Fucking give Maia someone that he can beat in Brazil. All right, please. Let's just not fuck around here and get him killed. Like, what was who was the last guy we saw fight? That was BJ Penn. I mean, when they gave BJ Penn the year fight, I'm like, God damn it. And that fucking softened him up real nice for Dennis Seaver, who looked like a world beater against BJ. You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing I don't want to see. But mind you, legit, everybody thought that BJ should beat Dennis Seaver, right? Everybody thought that.
For sure.
I was just as shocked as everybody else. I was like, oh no, why BJ? Did you not even train for this shit? Fuck.
It's one of those sad ones, but at the end of the day, when you consider like 10 years ago, he was fighting against fucking Lyoto Machida in fucking heavyweight, light heavyweight.
It pisses me off, man. History is crazy because history changes with time. And by that, I mean, think about it. The Bible has been written a million times, like thousands of times probably, right? Over in different languages, different people wrote it, whatever, changed it probably a bunch of times, whatever. At some point in the next 20 years, everyone's going to think LeBron James is the greatest of all time and Michael Jordan is not. And that's the argument we can make now. So think about it. Okay. And we don't need to get into details. Just an example. You know what I mean? You ever heard the saying that history is written by the victors and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nobody talks about BJ Penn. Not nobody, but very few people talk about BJ Penn like the savage fighter that he was. Moving up 4 different weight classes, whooping on anybody at any point, fighting heavyweight, fighting middle heavy, or not middle, light heavy, fighting middle. You know what I mean? Like just the balls, the utter guts to get in there. Mind you, whether he was juiced or not doesn't matter. But yeah, just you know what I mean? Like that guy's a legend. And I rarely put in stock into when people say, is he going to hurt his legacy if he loses this fight? BJ Penn might be that guy.
I think the thing is, though, is what you've got to take into account with legacy is people will always, if they were a good fighter, regardless, they'll always get pulled back to they were great when they were great. I don't think anybody's ever going to turn around and go, BJ Penn was okay. Nobody's ever going to say that. Nobody's ever going to go say Demian Maia was okay. Do you know what I mean? I think people afterwards, because I'm going to throw this out there, and I've got a feeling you're going to disagree with this, but look at Nick Diaz. Like, you could argue, hear me out, you could argue it's kind of trash. You could argue it, but then in the context of there's certain fights that he had where you look and you kind of go, he didn't perform when it really mattered against the big names. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, you could make that argument.
I'm not saying that he's right.
Right. I get it. I get it.
The concept, but the fact is, though, is then you go to those moments where he showed that he was a fucking demon, whether it be on the feet or on the ground. So do you know what I mean? So my point is, though, is you know, we haven't seen him fighting fucking a millennium or however long you've been talking about him. But the point is, though, is we always go back to going, remember that, though? You remember when he knocked out Robert when he hit that fucking gogo platter? Like, do you know what I mean?
And that's the thing about, again, I'm gonna go JRE for like 15 seconds. That's the thing about like about these podcasts and the fact that we go and do this shit is that people like you and I, you know, we can do that. We do that shit constantly, on air, off air. It's like, remember this shit? God damn it, what a fucking motherfucker. Now he's like super old and frail, you know. But that's my favorite thing about sports, is being able to look back at history and be like, God damn, remember when, you know, Jordan dropped 69 on the Celtics? Do you remember when, you know, LeBron hit the game winner in Cleveland to tie up the series, even though they ended up losing fucking, you know, to the Magic? Do you remember when Kobe dropped 60 in his very last game? Mind you, he shot like shit, but, you know, dropped 60 in his very last game, and just for the last 3 minutes of that game, put on a show worthy of a second greatest of all time. You know what I mean? Shit like that. You remember when Conor McGregor fucking Super Saiyan fucking Eddie Alvarez to win the second belt? And my favorite part, and I know people are like, oh, how can you not say the fight was your favorite part? No, my favorite part was like, where the fuck is my second belt? You cheap motherfucker. It's like, oh shit. I was like, I was on the couch dying when he did that, when he said that shit.
I think one other one that you've got, I'm going to throw out there as a Britishman and an Englishman that I've got to throw out there. When David Beckham against Greece in the World Cup qualifiers hits that free kick in extra time to send us through, because if we hadn't have got that goal, we weren't going to the World Cup.
Right. The point that you guys were not tied, you were under. You were down or tied with somebody?
We were under, so we tied.
We were under. Yeah. But I remember that shit, man. I was watching that shit. God damn, that was badass.
I just remember him stood at that fucking ball, dead ball, free kick against Greece, and I just remember him stood there and he just curls it into the top corner. And as an Englishman, and I was only a kid, I can't even, I think I was like 12 at the time, I believe, or 10. No, I was 12. Or 12 or 14, one or two. And I just remember seeing that, and I was like, holy shit, that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Like, that was one of those clutch moments that, you know, like in American things that they always call a clutch moment. Yeah. He literally stood over that ball in that dead ball spot, and like no other person on God's green earth could step up to that ball and put it in the back of the net. But like you say, these are beautiful things about the sport of like anything.
Any sport, yeah. I mean, and of course, I got to throw it out there. Nate Diaz saying, "I'm not surprised, motherfuckers." That was the shit.
Yo, I'm just saying. Like, I get where you're coming from. I just think, like I say, there's always going to be room for legends, because there'll always be a moment where, whether you're a fan of them or not, you don't have to necessarily not like them, but like if you turn around and said to me like, yo, like, I don't know, I can't think of a fighter that I don't really like, but if they had an epic moment, I'm like, yeah, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? That was a pretty nice moment. So
I mean, look, if Darren Till becomes a thing, like a huge thing, we could see this whole thing, like we could see this last fight he had where he took out Cowboy Cerrone as like the moment that we knew Darren Till had arrived. You know what I mean?
You hear he got stabbed twice whilst, like, before he left to go and be in Brazil?
The what?
Like, before he went to go and, like, train in Brazil and this, that, and the other when he was in the UK, he got stabbed twice in a club.
Motherfucker.
I was watching just clips from the hour, and I was looking, and like he sat there in the chair, and he's like, "Yeah, I got stabbed twice." He's like, and Ariel Hawani is like, "What? Like, how? What?" And he tells him about the night, and apparently some dude fucking stabbed him, and then he saw that he didn't go down, so he fucking poked him again, and he's got 2 scars. And he said that doctor said if it had been an inch tooth, whatever, to the left or right, whatever it was, it'd have hit an artery, and it'd have been fucking done.
Oh, it'd have been game over. Yeah.
And
Fucking Paul. Yeah, Paul Pierce back in the day. I think he was only like maybe 2-3 years in the league. I'm not 100% sure of the timeline, but Paul Pierce, as a Boston Celtic legend, was at a club in Boston. It was a bar or a club, and he got stabbed like fucking something like 10 times. You know what I mean? And survived. You know what I mean? It's just shit like that's kind of crazy. But yeah, man, it's kind of nuts. For example, like the thought, and it crossed my mind a couple of days ago, just when I was talking to one of my friends about that. And I know you stopped watching basketball for a while and you just get back into it. I have witnessed every season, not every single game, not every single play, but I've been around for every single season of Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, and LeBron James' career. I watched the draft in 2003. All right, we're at 2017. I'm 31 years old. I watched this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was witness to to 3, legendary careers. Maybe, Melly could argue, but at least the 2 of them, like Wade and LeBron. But regardless, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, the older I get, the more I realize how much I've witnessed, that I've become, you and I and every person that's been, around, and especially for the older folks, everyone that's older than us, we're like walking history books, because we witnessed so much of this shit. And that's what I love about sports, is that we're going to be, fucking sports almanacs when we're in our, hopefully we can make it to the 80s, 90s, whatever. You know what I mean? All in our respective porches talking about, I remember when LeBron did this shit and he left the Cleveland Cavaliers to go to Miami. He was a douchebag, but then he went back and he was awesome. And fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, it's amazing to me. I'm not even high right now and I'm thinking about this shit.
I think this is one of those things where at the end of the day, there's moments in life, whether it be God listening to Chill Hop and talking to you right now, I feel like I should be smoking up, but I'm just going out of there. But god damn. But the thing is though, like there's moments and stuff like that we're witnessing, and I think I was talking to I went to get my hair cut at my barber's, the first time in like months, because I've been just shaving my own head, so I've not fucking going there. And he was talking about, like, obviously he'd seen on social media that me and my sister are having a kid and all that. And he was saying that, like, it's crazy to just think that we're because he's got like 3 or 4 kids. And he was saying, like, it's crazy to think that, like, we're bringing people, like, kids into this world and stuff like that. And, it was slightly it would be a slight bit negative, but I just turned around and I was like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. But, and to quote Joe Rogan, we are living in one of the most awesome times in the world. Like, let's not get it twisted. Is there bad shit going on in the world? Yes. But has there been worse shit prior?
Of course.
There's been fucking, we're not in World War fucking 2, 1, or, like, there's no kind of fucking wars going on like that extent. So,
yeah, well, imagine being a Jew in Poland in 1940, 1940, 1939. You know what I mean? And there's, your neighbor, you're in Poland, your neighbor's talking some crazy shit, and you're over here going like, fuck, my kids, oh shit, what am I going to do? Fuck, this is the worst time to be alive. You know what I'm saying? And then that passes by, and now we're in 2017, and the world's crazy, but it's constantly at a certain level of crazy. It just goes up and down sometimes. You know what I
mean? Yeah, there's bad stuff that's happening. Do you know what I mean? Like,
of course,
any delusion. But the thing is, I just think it's crazy because we are in one of the most beautiful moments of time ever, where, whether it's wrong or right, you can become a millionaire in a day. Like, within the transition of a day, if you do something, whether it be, from social media, sports, whatever it is, like, within a day, you can change your life forever. And that's all through, technology. Like, there's nothing else. Anybody can say whatever they want, but the fact is it's down to tech. It's down to tech. There's no 2 ways about it. Like, whether you be on TV, prior, or now we've got, like, YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
You can change the world.
not only that, dude, I've never stepped foot in the UK ever. I have friends there. You know what I mean? Like I can
Yeah.
say that shit. You know, I can say I got friends. I got a couple of friends and all. I got friends all over Europe just off of Twitter alone. You know what I mean? And off the show and all sort of stuff. It's fucking crazy how the reach is with this kind of thing. But you know, to tie it up to MMA, man, how the fact that we're at this point where not that it's acceptable, but not even, you know, 6-7 years ago, not even 10, not even a decade ago, would you be able to look at this sport and not hear a few people, and you still do now, but back then it's like, oh, Neanderthals in a cage beating each other bloody. And now we're inching closer and closer to sport, depending on who you ask, you know, to being a sport, much like a football, an American football, soccer, you know, whatever, basketball, everything. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, it's cool to have been around for the evolution of this sport specifically, because no one thought it'd be possible. And then you put in UFC 1, you see little Hoist Gracie against a giant, and he wins. You know what I mean? Nutty shit.
I just remember my granddad showing me a little article in a fucking newspaper saying that a man had fucking died from getting punched fuck out of. And I was like,
Yeah.
that'd be real. Do you know what I mean? And then I saw like VHSs and stuff like that, and rest is history. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a crazy thing. I think that when I first ever heard of the sport, it was like 98, 99. That's when I first ever heard about the sport. And then, you know, I'm talking like, you know, nearly 20 years on, and it's one of the biggest sports in the world, you know. And I don't care what anybody says, it's a clip boxing, which if you'd have said that 20 years ago, people would have fucking slapped the piss out of you, because they're like, don't be talking.
Yeah.
There's this guy, there's that guy, there's that guy, there's this guy. And it's like this weekend, after seeing Anthony Joshua compete.
Yeah, but against a fucking bum, dude.
Yo, I'm not disputing it, but that bum had a chin, bro. If you watch that fight,
oh yeah, dude,
not fucking go down.
Dude, did you see? I forgot what round it was, but the look on, or what part of the round thing it was, but the look on Joshua's face when he was landing right on the dude's fucking chin, and the guy would not go down. I think Joshua had this look on his face, like, "What the fuck, dude? What do I have to do?"
You've got to take into account this is the heaviest that Anthony Joshua's ever been in a fight. So he had more mass, more power.
Yeah, he tried to get the knockout
down. Like, well, he got the knockout technically, but you know what I mean.
Right.
That was the thing that I was going to allude to. Like, that's the sucky thing. You know, like I tweeted out at the end of the day with boxing. Every time, you know, because this is the thing. Everybody's been talking about boxing. Yo, we've got this fight, man. Like this super fight. This is going to be the best fight ever. Right. Cool. Every time they've said that, before and after the Conor Floyd fight, every last one of them has been shrouded in controversy. Every one of them, from Manny Pacquiao's fight to
Horn
fight, to this fight, every fight. And if I remember correctly, weren't the Andre Ward fight controversial as well?
The first one was. The second one was an 8th round finish. But that first one was definitely, look, I thought, and look, I put a disclaimer out there, okay? Andre Ward's my favorite boxer.
Yeah, well, obviously, because he...
Like, hater.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, he's a DS.
Okay, that's not the point, dog. I'm
just saying.
Right, but whatever, dude. Right, but regardless, he's probably my favorite boxer. You know, at least in of this era. Okay, no one's ever gonna take, you know, even though I wasn't alive for it, Muhammad Ali. All right, still to this day, my favorite fighter of all time, probably. But regardless, you know, it's kind of, I don't know. For example, with Joshua is this. Right? I like Anthony Joshua a lot. Okay, but call me when he fights Deontay Wilder. Other than that, I'm not interested. Especially if it's guys like he fought. He should. No, and I think he would. I think Anthony Joshua would knock Deontay Wilder out. That being said, you want to be the best, fight the best, but that's the problem with boxing. You can't fight the best. Or some guys won't fight the best. Fucking Mayweather's entire career, I argue, that not all of it, but most of his career, especially the latter half, okay, was him fighting guys at the perfect time. Agree?
100%. But what I was going to say about the thing with Joshua was that the title that he had to defend was mandatory. Otherwise, he'd have lost the title.
Agreed. So, like, the time is now, right?
Yeah. So, like, he has to do that, because otherwise, how is he going to unify all the titles? And if I remember correctly, Wilder's opponent pulled out.
Popped hot.
Yeah, I'm going to say he popped hot, he pissed hot. So, you know, again, Wilder had a fight. and so did, Joshua. They had that fight, but
Yeah.
now we're looking forward. They can fight, but
I'm hoping
that's not the fight that's going to happen. That's not the
it's
fight.
not. It's definitely not. It's definitely not. Did you read? Yeah. Now I know we're running out of time, but did you read? Did you see about Tyson Fury talking about they're going to let him fight again? I don't buy that shit. I didn't read it. I thought it was clickbait. Is it legit though?
The problem is with him is that he has to get past the drug test because he failed the drug test for cocaine, I believe. So
that's awesome. I don't give a fuck. Let that man fight on coke. I don't give a
Tyson
shit.
Fury is a man of the traveling people. I'm not going
to. Dude, have you? Fuck that.
Yeah.
No. Did you see those? Have you seen those? You've seen those fucking videos, right, on YouTube where they call each other out?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I didn't know that was real. I literally spent once I found those, I spent hours watching those videos, dying laughing. He's like, I'm defending my sister's honor and shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? And they give you the whole backstory. You could barely understand every other word, but it's fucking hilarious. I love it.
Fury versus Joshua would be a sick fight, but I think that
Joshua fucks his world up, in my opinion.
I think he does. Only because of the fact that Fury's been out for so long and the lifestyle, and I think that.
Well, okay, well, what was the fight with that not Joshua? Tyson Fury won. He fought Klitschko.
Yeah, he beat Klitschko, didn't he? He was the one who beat him for the title.
That was such an awkward fight to watch because I thought Klitschko would have fucked his world up, and Klitschko, if I remember correctly, Klitschko made that shit kind of boring.
No, it was more of a case of that he could have. You know what it was? When we were watching MMA, when somebody's got a clunky, awkward style, that's what Tyson Fury has.
Yeah.
Okay. Clunky, awkward boxing style, and if you're a traditionalist, it's kind of awkward. It's kind of difficult to kind of read, and you don't know what to throw, when to throw it, when people don't do what you're used to seeing. It's like when we talked about Southpaws the other week. The unknown is just a ball ache to deal with. Again, though, the thing is Joshua is the only guy who I'll watch to box because he's the only exciting guy, in my opinion, to watch without any controversy or any, him fighting any bums. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I just think that every time boxing has been gloating that they're better than MMA because they've got this fight happening. Every time their fight has been finished in some form of controversy, and I'm going to say it, and I know you're going to probably look at me sideways through the side of the ringworm, but we all thought that Conor Floyd was going to have some controversy. We all thought that Conor Floyd was going to be that stupid thing where something stupid happens. There's going to be a second, or it's going to be a trilogy. They're going to make as much money as they can milk out.
Yeah.
It didn't. It's done with. That fight is over.
I fucking hope so.
You will never see them two fight again, and that's it. It's done. Whereas Manny Pacquiao could have a rematch. Triple G and Canelo could have a rematch. You could argue Anthony Joshua and this kid could have a fucking rematch.
God, no.
I'm just saying though, but all of these fights, because they ended the way that they did, you could go.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. On a side note, real quick, Anthony Joshua, the only rematch I want to see him in is against Klitschko. That's it, because that fight with him was fire. Fucking Klitschko dropped his ass. Did you see how careful Joshua was being? Klitschko drops him, and Joshua goes, "Fuck it, I'm going full Mike Tyson, bitch," and it comes at him like a monster. I became a Joshua. I was already watching Joshua before that. That's when I became a Joshua fan. I'm pretty fucking new, to be honest with you, but that's when I became, because you don't see boxers throw caution to the wind and go after a win the way Joshua did in that fight.
Joshua's not allowed.
That to me was like, man, we've been waiting for a guy like this in boxing forever since Tyson left, and we finally found him.
I think that's where you're going to get certain people that are going to. I don't know what it is, and I stand by this. I always think that certain areas in Europe breed those kind of fighters. Do you know what I mean? Like that old traditional Mexican style as well, where it's that go forward pressure fighting. Sure. And whatnot. I think that there's just certain areas that breed these kind of fighters. You
think it's upbringing?
You're definitely. I think you're a product of your environment for sure. I'm not being funny, but when you look at the upbringing, what I think you're of a similar kind of upbringing as well. But when you were a kid, like you had friends and mates and brothers and cousins, stuff like that. And you'd at some point, if there were a group of lads with you, it won't go into an all-out brawl, but there were going to be a fight between two of you. Like, that's just how it was. It weren't because you didn't like each other. It weren't because you didn't love each other, your family, or that. It just that you got into fights. Like, that's, you know, and you got into those kind of confrontations. I remember when, like, at the high school that I used to go to, when you used to finish at the end of the year, because our school, you had to walk up the main street, and you had to, like, this big long road, and you had to turn right to go onto the main road, and then you'd walk into the centre. Well, the other school had to do near enough the exact same thing. So on one side would be theirs, and there'd be one side that'd be ours.
Oh, no.
So at the end of the year, when it was the last day of fucking school, when it was summer holidays, guess what happened? There were a lot of fucking fights, because that's what it was. Like, and there were no reason. Nobody ever fucking spoke to anybody from there. Nobody fucking, you know what I mean? But you get into fights for nothing. And that's just one of those things that I think if you're in certain areas, you know, and you have that upbringing, confrontation isn't something that you're necessarily scared of per se. Because
you almost find it fun.
You know what I mean? That's is what it is. You can't avoid it.
Yeah, you almost find it fun. I mean, shit, how many of us fucking choose to walk into a gym and train and spar and then get into, you know what I mean? Like, I think not everyone wants to do that. You know, it's very, like, I always try to get my friends to come join jiu-jitsu, come try it. And it's always very difficult to get them in because they know me and they think there's like a gym full of me's in there, which there's not. There's not that, not everyone's that fucking aggressive, you know, like stupid like that. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like pumped when like people like Lil's like join, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone that clearly doesn't have that gene in them, but they're like, oh, I want to try this. You know what I mean? They're not afraid of trying just because they see a bunch of people in there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just
I think it's important character building to know 100%. Two things that if you go into a striking-esque based martial arts, being punched in the face is one of the most humbling things in the entire world, in my opinion.
Oh, dude.
Know you, and they just, and not even intentionally trying to hurt you. When you get a good crack, there's nothing like it. And then when you're obviously grappling, there is nothing more humbling when you know that there's somebody who can prevent you from doing anything.
Nothing lights you up like for example, in high school in the hallway when someone hits you. You know what I mean? Like if you just fucking, let's say you're horsing around with your friend or whatever, and you just shove him into a locker or whatever, and he shoves you back, and you shove him back, and all of a sudden he for some reason pops you in the nose. You get mad. That turns from playing around and horsing around to an all-out fucking fight right then and there. I mean, part of that, sure. Part of that is, like, you know, at that age, like let's say you're 15, 16, you're like, you got testosterone coming out of your fucking eyeballs, okay? But one punch is so embarrassing, humiliating, that you will turn that shit into a fucking just brawl immediately. You know what I mean? That's how humbling a punch is, ladies and gentlemen. So step in your local boxing / MMA / Muay Thai gym today and get cracked in the face if you have an ego issue, motherfucker. Okay? And then come join us over here in the world of grappling and jiu-jitsu. Come get choked out and get even more humbled, motherfucker. All right? If everyone on the planet did that, we'd have a bunch of nice fucking people. Tell you that right now. You know how the argument is like, you know, if everybody was armed, there would be no shootings. Well, if everyone trained jiu-jitsu, there'd be no bullies. There you go.
Oh, would there be people bullying others from the... Yo, I've got to throw this out before we wrap this up, because this is something that I wanted to throw out there considering this. Yo, Brunson bullied Machida like we thought.
Bruh, that was sad.
Yo,
the overhand? Yeah. I did, but I didn't want it to be true. But the way
happened.
I know, but it's just like, remember we were talking about it, and I was like, dude, 2 years away. You know, the fact that it was because he told on himself, basically, he came clean on his own, and they fucked him for it. You know what I mean? Here's what, think about it. What I thought when I heard of that whole story of Machida, but went and told USADA, hey, I might pop hot because of this. My mistake. I didn't know it was in bad. Whatever he said, he didn't know it was in the ban list or whatever. I think he went in there like, look, man, maybe they'll only give me like a 6 month because I came clean. They give him the max, dude. They gave him 2 fucking years. 2 years out of a fight. Okay, you could be in the gym all you want to. You could spar as hard as you want to, as long as you want to. 2 years is 2 fucking years, man.
I'm with you.
I wasn't surprised. I was sad. That being said, Derek Brunson with the fucking savage overhand dropping. Dude,
elbow.
I didn't. Yeah, and the elbow was nasty. But I didn't. I still don't think Derek Brunson saw where that landed.
Yeah, but I think so. If you throw it and you know where it's going, you do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because some people turn around and go like, one of the. I think that how can I put this? When you punch somebody, sometimes when you throw it, you aim it for the area. You don't aim for like the precise place because it's like aiming for the chin or you aiming for the nose. To say aim for the chest, so you aim it for the place where you think they're going to be, not necessarily what you're aiming for.
Right. No, I agree. I'm with you. No, it was just I don't know. It was fucking crazy though. Like when he landed, like I said, I didn't get to watch the fight, but I saw the ending of it, and I was just like, God damn it, I was right. Fuck.
What's the worst thing about that entire fight is that was Machida's best matchup.
Yeah, dude. I remember. I think we talked about this, or maybe it might have been someone else, but I think we talked about like this is his best chance to get like back into like relevance, I guess. For like, by the way, I hate that term. I hate motherfuckers that use that term when it comes to fighters. No, they're not relevant. Not necessarily because they're not relevant, but he's like, dude, give him a chance. He was gone for 2 years because he fucking got fucked. I think it's like case by case. We can't use it with every single thing. I think case by case basis is the relevance thing. In my opinion. For example, you could say, Nick Diaz is, he shouldn't be relevant, but he is. But he shouldn't be. No. But he is. Yes, he is. Save this for the next show, motherfucker. I'm going to give you examples of why he's relevant. Stop hating.
No, so the next episode is going to be a montage of Eddie, #rolling with Eddie and Nick Diaz. And it's just them two in silk gowns rolling. I'm just
rolling blunts, hater.
Rolling panties and fucking robe.
This motherfucker. Whatever, dude. Hey, the next one's gonna be you and Conor McGregor rolling in silk fucking panties and shit, motherfucker. You know how crazy it is? Like we are like. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're just fucking around. Okay, this is
gonna be no nakedness with me and Conor.
There's gonna be nothing. Yeah, there's gonna be nothing like that. No, but we give each other. Me and Ash give each other shit all the time over this shit. Like. Yeah, I mean, like, oh, look at you, motherfucker, shit like that. So it's all in fun, ladies and gentlemen. It's all in fun.
Yeah, like I say, man, I just I just think that you're right that relevance isn't one of those things. But I will say this: Derek Brunson has put himself in a good position, and I do think that's the end of Leo Machida. So
yeah, it's very possible. Real quick on the relevance thing, this is why I came up, and I didn't finish my point because I fucking forgot it. But here it is. I hate when people use relevance to dismiss somebody. That's what I hate. You know what I mean? Like we say, like, oh, look at this guy talking, and they go, yeah, when's the last time he was relevant? And I was like, dude, settle the fuck down. It's an opinion.
Do you think that's funny though? Because the same people would say like the Korean zombie, can't wait to see him back.
Exactly. It's all bullshit. It's like you try to validate and give yourself or your opinion more value by going, oh, when's the last time he was relevant? Like this guy can't talk shit. He hasn't been relevant in forever. Like, dude, chill the fuck out. Mind you, Korean zombie, fuck yes.
Oh no, I'm with you. I'm just saying though that I just think it's fucking hilarious though. Like you say.
By the way, real quick, does Doo Ho Choi have a fight? I love watching that guy fight.
Doo Ho Choi.
I know it's super random, but let me see if I can pull it up. I just thought about it right now.
If you're gonna pull that up, I'm not sure.
I got you. Hold up. Doo Ho Choi. I like it. I put it into Google, and the first thing that pops up is from Sherdog. Does anybody miss Doo Ho Choi?
Yo, if he doesn't have a fight, that's really sad. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, yeah. Hey, according to Sherdog, he ain't got a fight.
Is he taking time off though? Because I
think he that Cub Swanson fight took a lot.
The Cub Swanson fight.
No, he didn't.
He's in featherweight, isn't he?
He is featherweight. But Cub. That lost to Cub. By the way, still one of the best fights I've seen in a long time.
Oh, for sure. Oh, by the way, just a quickly thing, but John Lineker looked legit as fuck, even though he blocked me.
Dude.
I still love him, even though you blocked me. I don't know why.
I'm so curious as to why. I really am.
No idea. Genuinely, one of the very few people, very rarely do I ever feel the need to tag a fighter and criticize them because I'm just like they're not gonna fucking care. Do you know what I mean? So why tag them? Do you know what I mean? Whereas, I feel like if you tag somebody and you're giving them praise, then at least, as minute as this sounds, but if somebody tagged me in something and they were like, oh, I listened to this and, it kind of got me through my day, I'm like, that's fucking cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad that I put that energy out there for somebody else. So I like to do that because then if they feel it, then, you know, it might perk them for the day. So then they're making a difference to other people. But I don't say shit about fucking Lineker. I actually think he's a fucking badass. And then I turned because I went to tag him and Verreira in the fight because I was like, this is going to be the fucking one of the best fights in the card. And then I go to tag him and I'm like, why is it not coming up with anybody? And then I searched his name and it's like, you are blocked. I was like, fuck, like, what the fuck did I do?
Hey, legit, ladies and gentlemen, he legit was bummed. Pretty bummed when he told me.
Yeah, because I was just like, I fucking like the guy. I think he's a great fighter. And I'm like, how the fuck has he blocked me? But I don't know. Maybe I tagged him in something and I picked a different fighter. Maybe
it was probably like something like that, or you know, you got tagged in something. Because that happens a lot. I get tagged in shit where I was like, I don't agree with you guys at all. Like, I mean, you have no power at that point because you're just tagged. I don't know. I wonder. I don't fucking. I need to look up like Twitter settings to see if I can untag myself from shit like that. Well, but that constantly happens.
280 characters anymore, so it's fine.
Yeah. Hey, what the fuck, Twitter? I'm kidding. I didn't care. I didn't care. At that point, here's the thing. When I had the 280 character thing, it was like I saw it as a challenge to fill up all 280, so I did. Now that I got 140, I don't need to. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted.
He was bummed, ladies and gents. Don't let him. He was so mad. He was like, Twitter, where the fuck you at, Twitter? Everything I work for, motherfucker.
I would so do that.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, just want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Receptra Stanov, the OGs of the podcast. They hit us up with all the beautiful CBD oils, topicals. Make sure you check them out at receptranaturals.com. That's RECEPTRA.com. And if you're in the United Kingdom / Europe, then you want to go to receptraglobal.com, which is RECEPTRA global.com. Use the code word the heel hook, get 10% off. It's keeping, you know, my body right, my mind sharp. It's keeping fucking Eddie on point for him to go internationals. It's keeping Lil, our video editor, fucking raging like a white Caucasian lady for the fucking nationals as well in a white belt one also. So make sure you check out receptranaturals.com if you're in the United States, and also receptraglobal.com if you are in Europe, and use the code word heel hook for 10% off all your CBD needs. Secondly, make sure you check out Bain Jiu-Jitsu Athletic Apparel. They do all kinds of beautiful stuff, whether it be mugs, you know, white belt tiers. You can have a mug with that, you know what I'm saying? You can get the artwork if you want to put something nice up on your walls, or if you want to put it in your gym. I don't know, if you're feeling that way out. You can get spats, even if you don't even train jiu-jitsu, the spats are pretty fresh, as well as the hoodies. They're legit. And tees, hats, all that good stuff. So make sure you check out bainstore.com. That's BAIN store.com. Use the code word again, the heel hook, and get yourself 10% off all your jiu-jitsu needs. Where can I find you, Eddie?
All right, you can find me on Twitter at Elaw31. Of course, the page is at Keyboard MMA. All the podcasts are at keyboardwarriorsmma.com. Make sure you hit us up. Subscribe to this, by the way, for sure. Subscribe to the Heel Hook Show, but subscribe to keyboardwarriorsmma.com, and you get all our stuff automatically. And of course, iTunes at Keyboard Warriors MMA. And yeah, shout out to Represent, repthewarriors.com, motherfuckers.
Yeah, man, for sure. So make sure you check out those. Make sure you check out the iTunes and SoundCloud for the Heel. If you don't want to obviously watch my mug, and you can't see Eddie's ringworm right now, so
God damn, you're fucking up my rep right now.
Hey, I'm just saying that's what happens when you roll with Eddie. So make sure that you check out the iTunes and the SoundCloud. Subscribe to them for all the episodes with no visual, so you can just enjoy our voices serenading you through your day, whether it be at the gym, on your way to work, whatever.
Hey, real quick, just on Twitter, the homie MMA dude, bro, is at MMA Pod. At MMA Pod, just got his first stripe on his white belt. Goddamn right, MMA bro. Yeah, get some.
Eddie with the quickness. Make sure that you check out us on Twitter, also at the Heel Hook Show. You can find me on Twitter at Ashley Lamprey. That's ASHLEYLAMPREY. All of our links, by the way, are all in the description, you know, like below here. So just go and just press the link.
It's the right one.
It's the right one. But make sure that you always subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a comment, share with your brothers and your mothers and your sisters and your aunties and your cousins, and also leave a like. We appreciate, obviously, you taking time to hear our beautiful voices. And yeah, this has been the Heel Hook. So whether you're a lover, you're a fighter, or you're a hater, peace up, A-Town down. We're out.